Hello friends, I am going to be playing with the Lazy Days bundle today. I'm Cindy Brumbaugh, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have been so taken with this Lazy Days and the Lazy Days dies. We made this card in class last week, and we used the new Lemon Lolly, and we used this I did some research last night. This, I guess, is called, this is the column, and this is I think these things along the porch are called the balusters. So balustrades. So I'm not sure. I'm going to call it the trim here. So we're going to be making a different card, but using these dies here for the rocking chair and the table. And I'm going to show you a little hack to make that work with another sentiment there. So the card I'm going to make, though, I was inspired by Susan Campfield. I do believe she invented it, so thank you, Susan, for the idea. It is called a flying seagull card. So it kind of looks like a seagull here. So I'm going to show you how I did that using Susan's measurements. Now, I only had one pack of my 6x6 inked botanicals DSP, so I didn't want to use up my paper right now because I'm waiting for my order for another. Oh, this is a beautiful paper. It has Lost Lagoon and Crushed Curry, and it has some white in there. And you could also pair this with vanilla because it's got both of those basics in there. But you've got some really pretty colors to play with there with the Crushed Curry and the Calypso and the Lost Lagoon. And this Lost Lagoon kind of stamped off looks a little Coastal Cabana-like. So I'm going to use that paper, and I'm going to show you how to make this fun flying seagull card. Okay, so I am going to set this aside and show you the two pieces that we're going to be working with. So we're going to be working with 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. So what I did is this was 2 sheets of, this is one sheet, and okay, let's do it this way here. So I just trimmed off 1/4 and then went to 8 1/2. Okay, so this was 8 1/2, and then I just scored all at one time because I knew these were gonna, this length was 8 1/2, and this was 8 1/4. And then if you score at 2 1/4, and then again at 4, and then again at 6 1/4, you can then cut that in half and get 2 4 1/4. So again, what I did was I trimmed off 1/4 inch off of 8 1/2, and then I turned it this way, and then this was 8 1/2. Okay, so we're going to score it at 2 1/4. Do this before you cut it. So score at 2 1/4, 4, and 6 1/4. 2 1/4, 4, and 6 1/4, and then you'll cut it in half so you have 2 4 1/4 inch pieces. Now we're going to put these 2 1/4, the larger of the panels, over to the sides here, to the left and to the right. We want that bigger part because that is the part that is going to be popped up this way. Okay, so what we're going to do is accordion fold it, and we're going to be putting these two pieces together here. So these two are going to go together, and these are the 2 2 1/4 inch sides. So whenever you actually have it like this, you're actually going to turn it this way so that these two matching, and you'll know you're wrong if you're trying to match up where it doesn't fit. Okay, so it all kind of makes sense. So we're going to fold these back, and that's going to be the mechanism that holds that. Now I'm just going to put a little piece of tape to hold together my pieces here, because this will all be covered up. So I'm going to put this tape here, and that is going to be that mechanism that's going to let that focal point pop up right there. So there we go. That's going to be our pop-up portion. And you'll notice there's a little bit of room on this side. Susan had cut it down a little bit just so that she allowed for the movement of the card. So there is literally how we're going to be putting that together. Is that easy or what? So what we're going to do is look at this DSP. Now I saw in here the Calypso and the Lost Lagoon and also the Crushed Curry. So we're going to be playing around there. Let's go ahead and just put those on the side there. And I think I might just go ahead and use my glue. And I love this pattern here because both patterns match with the Calypso. I think you could use the Whisper White or Very Vanilla because it's a little thinner, but it just didn't really pop. The paper didn't pop off of it the way I wanted it to. So it's directional whichever way you want it to go because the leaves go up and down. And then I'm just going to put that across here and put it on this other one. And these measure 4 inches tall and 2 inches wide. Now the great thing about that is a 6 by 6, because I do believe this, yes, this came in, no, it came in 12 by 12. When you can get a lot of 2-inch pieces. And then this, I had already had my paper share cut down to 6 and 6. So these both worked out of that piece too. Now, if you wanted to, you could put that there, but I, of course, wanted to have just a little bit of variation there. And so we're just gonna pop that onto this section here. There we go. And put one on this other side. So your eye is seeing that uniform look there. And we'll just pop that one on here, push over that piece here. And I should have thought about this sooner, but you could put a white in here for a message, or you on the back could put white in any of these sections to make your message. Because this is going to fold down there, you could easily put a white over there, which is what I'm going to do. And you'll see the photos when you jump over to my blog. There is a place underneath the YouTube description that if you press this link, it takes you to my blog. You'll see photos of this card, and you'll also be able to link to my online store, but also underneath the YouTube description, all the products I use are down there. Okay, so I decided it might be fun to pop a bright color right here in the middle. Okay, and you can see here that that yellow, the crushed curry, it's going to go inside these score lines, but outside of these flaps. So it's just going to go from the top to the bottom. Now, one thing with using crushed curry, you don't have that opportunity for the Calypso Coral square that's 4 1/4 to blend in with this if you're off, but it looks like it's a pretty good measurement there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here, because if I go too far out here, it's going to get on the card. So I'm just going to put glue right here on these 2 flaps. Okay. And then I have some wiggle room with my glue. So I'm going to look at the 2 score lines on the left and right of the card. I'm going to try to look up at the top of the card and the bottom. And like I said, we have a couple, maybe 10 seconds of a wiggle room there. And it looks like it's a pretty good match there, okay? So that is going to be our focal point. You see how cool that is? It looks like a seagull. That's what Susan's son said. How cute. Okay, so now we're going to do our focal point here. And I did have okay, we're just going to use my silicone mat as a little bit of a cushion here. And I wanted to go ahead and put some of the plank wood for the porch, because the rug here was a little too big to fit on here. So I thought we would just put on some planks here. But I want to do that first before I put on my column, my post for the porch. So let's just say this adorable thing, I'm going to put a sentiment on the top here. So I'm going to put this, will you cooperate with me? So I know it's probably going to go a little bit of a sentiment at the top. So I'm thinking right along here, and I want to leave, but I want to take this off so I kind of know where I'm going to do this. So there's some wood planks there. Let me see, does this fit? It does, okay. kind of. There we go, just like a little porch there. And then we are going to put our, let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Now I wanted to pull out, I used smoky slate there, and I want to pull out some Calypso coral. So where is my Calypso coral? Okay, here's the Calypso coral. And I'm going to do that for my sentiment so it jumps off of the page. So it's always a good day. It's always a good day. And then I want to do, now this is my little hack here, because look at this, how cute this is. It's always a good day when we spend time together, and there's 2 lemonades. But what if you use this other sentiment that says, let's do this, it's always a good day when you take time for yourself. Well, some of us might say we would put 2 glasses on there, but I decided to do something a little different. So I'm going to close this up so I don't get ink on there, but we're going to go ahead and put some glue on this trim, the porch trim, and the column. Here we go. There we go. Little bit of glue here and there on here. And then part of that's going to be actually taken off of there. So we're going to pick that up, move this out of the way, put our trellis across there. We just want to get the whole part of the trellis on here and get it nice and straight. And I think our chairs are gonna fit on there. Yes, okay, because we can put them down. Okay, so that is gonna be the focal point on the card here on this 4¼ inch square. So that meant this white was 4 inches. And that's going to be going on here. And why don't we just go ahead and put it on there? Okay, we can get crazy with our glue and pop it onto this popped out portion. And we're gonna just do that. That's our focal point. I see I have a little bit of glue on my trim, but that's okay. So now we're going to put this rocking chair on here. Now remember, take time for yourself. So the little hack I came up with is let's just cut off one of those glasses, okay? And let's pop, now did I pop these up? No, I just made these flat on here because the card's going to be bulky to begin with because I'm using cardstock. So we're going to put our rocking chair here. Oh, I hear my little grandson waking up, but we're just almost done. My craft room's right outside the room I put him to sleep in, and I thought, oh, he's not going to hear me, which I'm kind of whispering. But we're going to put our, oh, the table goes under the chair. Let me pull up the bottom of the chair, this side of the chair here. So we're going to do our table. Okay, now remember, I wanted to have the, here we go. You're probably hearing the monitor of him. So we're going to make some lemonade here. And of course, our lemonade is crushed curry because I used crushed curry in the paper and in this border here. And then my little hack was there is a tiny little, oh my, he's wailing now. Tiny little bird in there, and I stamped it in gray and I colored it in, and I am just gonna pop that little bird right where that other lemonade was, and now that totally makes sense. So you guys who tuned in for a nice quiet video, I'm sorry if you're hearing the monitor, but look at that. You can just put that little bird on there, and now you have time for yourself, and then your card just closes up like this. And look how cute that card is. It's the Seagull, Flying Seagull card, inspired by Susan Campfeld. What a great design that she came up with. I used the Inked Botanicals DSP along with this wonderful Lazy Days dies and stamp set. So easy to do. All the measurements will be on my blog, and you are just going to have fun making this card. I'm sure you will. Thanks for buys and bye, friends. And oh, please do just stop over to my blog so you can get an update on what's going on with my health. Okay, thank you. God bless, and thanks for buzzing by, friends.